If there's one thing we use every single day, this is our phone. And me being a content creator and a business owner, I wanted to share with you today what's on my phone and what apps I'm using most of the time. We have a little different background today. I'm actually visiting my old college and I'm staying in the dorm, so it's kind of a little nostalgic, and I decided to record a video here. But without waiting any longer, let me start sharing my screen and show you what I got here. First of all, we start with the wallpaper doers do. This is Gary Vaynerchuk's wallpaper, Gary V, and if you don't know who Gary V is, he's kind of like the god of social media. And actually, there's more really cool wallpapers by him on his Instagram, so let me show you how you can find them. All you have to do is just find him on Instagram. I think it is Gary V right here. And in his stories highlights, you just scroll right until you find wallpaper tab. And these are all the wallpapers that you can kind of save. Life is only perspective. And when you touch the screen and hold it, you will see the sides of the screen kind of disappearing. You can just screenshot it, cut it a little bit in your gallery, and set it as a new wallpaper. Moving on to the home screen, we have FaceTime, photos, camera, notes. Actually, for the notes, I'm using the native iPhone app, just regular notes. I know there's stuff like Evernote and other things. I just prefer a native app. But what I did differently here, you can see all those different folders like books, ideas, new notes. So if I leave a note, let's say 4-hour work week by Tim Ferriss. I think it's like this, maybe Tim Ferriss. Okay, and then I put a hashtag and say book and I click return. It will automatically put this note into my books folder. So this is kind of convenient. You can do this little automation. Just type on Google how to do automation in Apple Notes, and it's pretty simple and convenient. Moving on, we have Clock, Maps, Gmail. This is my main mailing app. And we have Atoms. And Atoms is actually an app that was invented by James Clear. This is the guy who wrote Atomic Habits. And this is basically the app to track your habits. And if you open it, it has little tiny changes, remarkable results, so like a cute quote. And one of my resolutions is to stop biting my nails because I want to become a confident and calm person. So let's say I didn't bite my nails all day today. I can just hold it, it will fill out, and bam, I have a 1-day streak of not biting my nails. And then you can just track it. It's kind of interactive and it can help you to build your habits. And on the top of the page, I completely forgot we have a calendar widget. It's actually a Notion calendar. So if I click on it, it will open Notion calendar and show me what projects I have going on today and what are my deadlines. I was using Google Calendar for a lot of time, but for my CRM, Client Relation Manager, and my database, I use Notion like regular app, and they just came up with a calendar, so it just makes sense to use one ecosystem. Next, on the second page, we have Google Drive for storage and we have Slack. Slack is a business communication tool that I have with my team, and we have different channels right here for different clients. And the cool thing about it, you can leave a little emojis under messages, so this is kind of nice. And also what I like, this is something that's called threads, so I can reply to the message in thread. Looks cool. And this way, if I send a thread, it's not gonna clutter entire chat, but will be linked just to this one message. Okay, next we have YouTube and YouTube Studio, where you can see analytics of your channel. Social media, basically all the social media you can think of. And the next row is kind of interesting because we have Notion. As I've mentioned before, this is kind of my second brain inside of my phone. I have everything in Notion. This is kind of my homepage, and as you can see, I have different departments of my business. So I have finance, sales, marketing, and production. And if we'll go to production, for example, I have different checklists to do. For example, I have 3 projects to do, I have reminders, I have dashboard with production templates, and I can go further and see how do I do certain things. So all my systems and processes are stored in Notion. And if I go to marketing department, for example, I can go to social media company hub, and right here I have how to create content consistently. It's one of my YouTube videos. And I have thumbnail here, I have high-level outline of what to do, I have a script. So basically everything I do is stored in Notion, one way or the other. The best thing about it, this app is free. I mean, it has paid versions as well, but free version will be probably more than enough if it's just you or like just a few team members. After Notion, we have Audible, where I listen to the audiobooks. I get on a plane often, or I get on a bus ride or whatever else, and I don't want to look at my phone all the time or look at the Kindle. So I like to put the book and just listen to it through Audible. We have YouTube Music, that's my favorite music app. I know people like Spotify and all the other stuff. I'm just loyal to YouTube Music. The next app is pretty cool. It's called Otter. It is another note-taking app, but here is a fun thing about it. You can just click on this little microphone and you can just tell it to write you a note. It's basically going to transcribe your voice and send it in a text format. I mean, save it in a text format. If you have a paid version, I think it will allow you to do the summary and AI chat and all the other fun stuff. So it's a cool note-taking app. And again, when I'm on the go, when I'm in the park, just walking or whatever, and I have some random idea popping up in my head, I don't want to really stand and type the idea. So I can just use Otter, literally say everything I want to say. And then when I got home, I can just scroll through my transcript and see what idea I had. Moving on the next row, we have air control and DJI Fly. I fly a drone, and air control actually lets you see the airspace around you, if you can fly here or you can't fly here. Right where I'm at, with a certain permission, I can fly the 200 feet altitude, but if I go farther west, for example, I can fly whatever. This zone is wide, so this is how it works. Before flying the drone, you need to check if you can actually fly here, if you want to fly commercially. Next, we have Train Time and RTD My Ride. That's basically a transportation app. Whenever I go to New York or some other place, I use that a lot to buy tickets for the trains. And then the photo room. Photo room is actually such a sick app. If you open it, you can go to basically camera roll and just choose whatever image of the object you have. It will automatically separate it from the background, but that's only the beginning. There's a lot of templates that you can use. Like right here, it's kind of the magazine template that looks very professional. Right here, it looks like it's laying on the countertop, and it actually automatically generated the shadow behind it, as you can see. So there's a lot of use to it. You can do the Instagram story, Instagram post, TikTok, thumbnail. I mean, there's a lot of options, and this is kind of the quick substitution for the Photoshop. If you're selling some items and you want to separate them from the background or do some stuff with them, this app is like literally time saver. Moving to the next page, we start with the Day One. Day One is probably the best journaling app that I've used. I like to reflect on my thoughts, my days, whatever I do in a week, and kind of get my thoughts together, and that's where I'm using Day One for. For example, I spent almost entire last month traveling, and my first note is what a wild ride. I put a note with a little bit of text, and then at the bottom I inserted pictures that I took during this trip. And the cool thing about Day One, you can set reminders, and 1 year from now it will remind me, hey Slav, look back at your trip and how fun it was. And I can go to my note, I can see what were my thoughts at the moment, what pictures I have from this trip. So that's kinda cool. There's a lot of other cool things about this app. If you swipe left, it will give you a daily prompt. What are 3 things I'm grateful for today? And you can just click on it and immediately start writing a note and just save it for the later. Next we have Duolingo. I tried to learn Spanish, but I kinda failed. We all know what Duolingo does.
Who's that?
I can hear you. Are you still
Kelly,
there?
I can't see you.
If I would need to highlight any more interesting app on this page, it would be ChatGPT for the phone. I use it kinda all the time in my creative processes, even when I need to come up with the new ideas. Hey, I wanna film a YouTube video, I'm a content creator and a business owner, give me some ideas. Super slick. Another app that you might not be familiar with is Sidious Link. And basically, since I do a lot of videography, it allows me to control my light setup. The funny thing, I have a light right here, you can't see it, but let me show you how I can control it with my phone. I just gonna open Amaran 200X, cause that's the light I'm using, and I can make it way brighter here, and I can make it way darker here. I can also change how warm the light is, or how cold it is. Okay, let me set it back actually. The next app that I really like is Figma. Figma basically allows you to visualize all the ideas you have. For example, I was pitching a video project to the rock climbing space. It is right here. And as you can see, I inserted a few images and wrote down some notes that kind of like visualize the project and the vision I have for this project. Super easy to use. It lets you put all your thoughts in one place and just see it visually, which is always nicer. After that, I have Stripe, which is a payment system. I have DJI Ronin and DJI Store. I have DJI Gimbal, and I have DJI Drone, a lot of DJI right here, right? So it kind of lets me to follow the news and see what new products are coming out for the market. Monitor Plus, this is actually the app that works with Sony cameras, allows you to connect your phone to your camera and kind of translate your screen to your phone so that you can see what your camera sees. Alright, the next page. One of the interesting apps that I want to showcase here is Insight Timer. This is probably the best meditation app that is out there. If you open Insight Timer, it will greet you with a little quote, when we heal ourselves, we heal the world. You can skip it. And then it will give you so many different variations of meditation that you can find what works for you. There's timer, there's sleep, there's breathe, you can click more and you will see pretty much all the stuff that you want. I like to meditate, but I'm getting a little bored if I just try to sit down and meditate in silence. So I like to put my headphones and do a little bit of like guided meditation, and this app comes in clutch. Next we have Business Suite that allows me to post on Instagram and Facebook at the same time. It's kind of like Facebook social media manager. I have a CapCut, which is super great editing tool. Another cool thing that I kind of want to show you is Captions app. And Captions app is the stuff that I use for content creation all the time. Basically, let's create a video right now. I can just click create, camera. Hey, I'm Slav, just recording the video and just want to test how this app is working, how nicely it adds captions, all of that stuff. And then I just click continue, continue again, proceed with English, and as you can see, it automatically created captions right here, and this is super nice. You can select a different style of captions. For example, this Ali Abdal style, it's called Energy. Test how this app is working, and it's great. And then you can denoise, you can trim, you can voice over, you can add music, media, you can do so much in this app, it's actually insane. And one of the cool features they added recently that just blows my mind, I mean, you need to have a higher level subscription for that. But if I click create and I do AI edit right here, I can just record myself and it will automatically, with the help of AI, edit the video for you. You can choose out of 3 different styles and it works pretty well. I mean, I haven't used it really because I do editing myself. But if you don't really know anything about editing and you want to do it really quick, this can be a really good solution for you. Moving to the next row, we have a Dashlane, which is password keeper, and we have OneSec. And OneSec is actually a super cool app that allows you to get rid of your phone addictions. I don't have it set up right now, but I'll put a little bit of clip here how it works. But you can set an automation where you tell OneSec, this app for example, I want to get rid of my Instagram addiction, right? And you set automation, and every time you're gonna open Instagram, it will tell you to take a deep breath in, deep breath out, and then it will ask you, do you actually want to open an Instagram? And it makes you think twice. And if you don't really need to open Instagram, you can just close it and it kind of helps you to get rid of your addiction. There's other apps that are doing that as well, but OneSec was kind of the OG one that I was using for a while. I really liked it. On the bottom, we have Kindle, where I can read books as well, and we have Discord, which is another communication tool. The last 2 apps on this page is Shazam, which allows you to recognize the music. I know Snapchat does it, Google does it now, but Shazam was the only OG one, and I'm keep using it up to this day. And the last one is Proton Mail. A lot of people are using it as their main mailbox. I use it as my kind of trash mailbox, where like my spam mailbox that I put when I want to connect to Wi-Fi somewhere in Starbucks, etc. But I know it has a lot of cool AI features and just features in general, so it's kind of a very powerful tool. If you are looking for the new mailbox, try to consider Proton.me. And the last page on my phone, we have Coinbase and Robinhood at the beginning. These are investment apps. Coinbase, you can invest in crypto. Robinhood, you can invest in stocks and crypto as well, I think, at this point. Another cool thing that I have on this page is VTransfer. It basically allows you to transfer pretty bigger files to other people's emails. It's pretty slick, it does it seamlessly, and it's a very cool tool and a good substitution for Google Drive, because in Google Drive, you need to give permissions, you need to set the link, someone needs to store that information. With VTransfer, you can just send the file, and then after 30 days, it disappears. And another cool life hack in general that I can give you, download 2 taxi or like Uber apps on your phone. Basically, I have an Uber app and I have a Lyft app, which are both taxi apps. What happens to me a lot of times, I would need to call an Uber and sometimes the price will be just ridiculously high for some reason. That way, I can just go to another app and see what's the price there. There were times when the price was like literally $10 to $15 cheaper. I mean, if you don't have time, you just order it. But if you have another minute or 2 to spare, you can actually see which app is cheaper and order whatever taxi you like. Oh, and I completely forgot. I have one more page that has a funny Duolingo widget that basically tells me that I haven't been practicing my languages in forever and my bird is dead. So that's kind of sad. All right, there you have it. These are the apps that I'm using on my phone as a content creator and business owner. I obviously don't use all of them every single day. I use maybe just a few, but I wanted to show you everything I have in case you will find it more interesting or more valuable for yourself. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel. It will mean a lot to me, and I'll see you in the next one.